Hello everyone, Happy here. Today I'm making a guide for new players for bounty hunting in the game Elite Dangerous. I'm using a ship called an Eagle, which is one of the first, actually I believe the first fighting ship in the game that's purely made for combat. We're going to talk about how to find where we're going to go bounty hunting, what weapons I use, and what we're looking for when going there. First, we're going to talk about how to get towards these bounty hunting locations. I am currently in the Ocho Pinco system. If I go to press the 1 key, it pulls up my navigation, and I can read the system name in the top right. If you want a bounty hunt here, I do highly recommend it. It is very close to where we're going to be going. If you look here, there are resource extraction sites. If you scroll down, pressing the S key, you can go down and try to find hazardous. Hazardous site I recommend for new players to not go near. It's very dangerous. There are more powerful, stronger ships there. Then we have resource extraction site low. I also don't recommend this one very much. It's safer than the others, but there's usually less pirates to fight, and it becomes kind of hard to find targets and take a long time. We're actually going to look for a resource extraction site high. We're going to find it right here. I'm going to target by pressing the spacebar and the spacebar again and clicking the 1 key to pull myself back to the menu. I'm now going to press the 3 key, the 4 key, and pull up my fire groups. I have 3 guns on the Eagle because I only have 3 hardpoint. They're only 1 slot, so it's real simple. I have multi-cannons. This is for one very simple reason. I'm trying to do hull damage to the ships, and they are gimbaled. That little symbol, that little star symbol they have, that means that they'll automatically aim towards a target, keeping it relatively easy for me to fight things. You might notice I have multiple fire groups. That's the A, B, and C part. Actually, I don't even need most of those, and I could get rid of them if I really wanted to. So I'll actually press this and get rid of it with spacebar and spacebar. I'm only going to use this one fire group. I'll explain how it works. The 1 key, so you might see here it goes 1, 2, and blank. If you press the spacebar, that's how you add in what you're trying to do. So if I press spacebar, it goes back to the number 1 I'm looking for. The 1 equals your left mouse button. The 2 is your right mouse button. Nothing too crazy. That little kill warrant scanner, see that utility slot down here? I'll scroll down to it. That kill warrant scanner, that's the biggest thing you're looking for. I currently have an E, which is the lowest rating that I could find, but we're trying to find an A. That would be the goal that we're looking for. So if you've come across an A at a station, I recommend buying it for your combat ship because it will make you more money. So we're going to press number 2 for a second. We're going to go to contacts and get back over here. If you press any number twice, it brings you back to the center of the screen. I usually click 2, but it doesn't really matter what you press. So we're armed. I have full fuel, fully repaired, full stock. I'm going to launch my ship, and we're going to get right to the area that we've locked onto before, that high extraction site. So here's a few things we're going to talk about while we're flying. We're going to press the R key to lift straight up. We're going to rotate my ship towards the mail slot, and we're going to be flying out. So as I'm going out the mail slot, I'm just going to make sure I keep an eye out for bigger ships, as I have been crushed before, but we're going to make sure that we keep it nice and simple, pressing the R key to go up higher, and if you try and go the opposite direction, you can press the F key, F key brings you down, R brings you up. Now another thing is I took off my landing gear, that's with the L key. If you look at the bottom right, it'll say my landing gear is on, that's that blue pip, and if I press L again, it goes away. So now we're going to talk about where and how we're going to get there. So I can see the area. I'm currently mass locked, nothing too crazy here, but there's the dotted line behind the planet. That means the area I'm trying to go to is behind the planet. Now it should let me jump there regardless, so I'm going to press the J key as I'm trying to go out, and as I'm charging up, I'm going to show you a small little hint. If you're new to Elite Dangerous and you get near an asteroid belt, which is where we're going to be bounty hunting, and or a planet, if you get too close to it, you'll get pulled into the atmosphere and it slows you down massively and becomes a giant pain to escape from. So I'm actually going to fly down and away from where I'm going. And if you look in the bottom left, so the center of the console of the screen, it tells me how fast I'm going. It also tells me where my target is above me. So I now know that my target's behind me, which means I've flown far enough. I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to point my ship upwards towards where I'm trying to go. I've now passed the planet, and I'm going right towards where I want to land on the resource extraction high. Another thing is my throttle. You might notice that my throttle's in the blue on the right side of my screen. Keeping it there will make sure I land and get to the area safely. Once again, safe disengaging with J. If you look down the left, it tells me my distance and speed, and we keep it there, waiting for us to slide in. It might take a few seconds. That's okay. I don't expect this whole run to take more than 11 minutes at tops. So we're going to keep this real simple as we're getting closer. First thing with bounty hunting is really not to panic. So I have no cargo. I have no gear, and I'm a very, very small ship that can die very, very quickly. Yet I feel perfectly calm, and I am a very new player in the game when it comes to fighting. So I'm going to disengage. I'm going to press the U key to deploy my hardpoints, and I'm going to tilt my ship upwards and put on the brakes, because we're going to talk for a second. Pressing the U key will open and close your hardpoints. When they're closed, you'll see nothing on your screen. When I press U again, it'll pull everything back out again. So actually, I'm going to put mine away for a second, and we're going to talk about the pip system. In the bottom right, I'm going to switch all my pips over to system. So you might see as they slide over, back to weapons, back to engines, back to system, back to weapons. Now I'm in a small ship, which means I don't really need a lot in weapons. So I usually go like this. I put full system, making my shields are high, a little bit in engines, and a little bit in weapons as well. Now I'm going to get scanned here. I'm not even going to move my ship. I'm just going to sit here. I have my hands off the keyboard, and I'm going to get scanned. Now, people sometimes panic when they get scanned because they expect themselves to get attacked or a pirate's going to come after you. And I'm just going to stand here and nothing's going to happen. They're going to scan me and say, hey, you have no cargo, and they're going to fly away. So I'm going to start turning my ship nice and slow, and this is what I'm looking for. This fighting happening. Now, I'm going to press T to target what's being shot at. And I'm going to start flying towards it. So my scanner is working. It tells me this is clean, which means it's under attack by pirates. So I'm going to start scanning what was shooting at it, seeing if maybe these are the pirates that I'm looking for. So it is. It seems that there's a vulture fighting over here, and they're fighting what looks to be an eagle that's the same ship I have. Oh, but there's more fighting. This is where I'm going nice and smooth because I don't have to worry about being in combat and doing dangerous things. I'm going to keep scanning until I find a larger ship. We're going to see if possibly this is a allied ship or an enemy ship. So this is a dangerous Anaconda. But you see it's being shot at by a bunch of ships at the same time. I'm going to pull out my guns, and I'm going to fly relatively close to this ship. Now, I'm going to click the right mouse button to start my scanning because it was on 2 if we remember correctly from earlier. And I'm going to scan the ship as it's being attacked by everyone. So I'm scanning it. It's not hurting me. I can just hang out and wait here. And I've scanned it completely. Now, I'm going to start shooting at it. So I'm much faster than this Anaconda. And I'm just going to start shooting at it. And as I go, every other ship around me is also shooting at the Anaconda. And I can stay relatively close to it, keeping my guns in the area. And I'm actually going to switch my pips over to weapons because it's not attacking me, so I don't have to worry about anything like hurting me. And I'm just going to keep shooting at it. And a big hint here is try to stay behind the ship if at all possible. I don't want to get out in front and become accidentally clipped by a missile or two. That is a very quick way of getting yourself killed when you're a smaller ship. But on a whole, if you stay to its side or behind it, and it's really easy to do when you're using a ship like this. So I have attacked the giant ship. It has 1% health, and it goes down, and just like that, I have made about 300,000 credits. I haven't done anything besides shoot at a ship. I have now stopped my ship again. I put myself back in neutral. I put away my hard points, and I'm just sitting here. We're going to talk about what I just did and how it works. So there's these people around that are flying, all probably behind me, that are called the System Defense Force or Federal Defense Force. Now, as I'm clicking on these guys, I can tell if they're evil or not, so wanted's not good, but this is what we're looking for. So Federal Security Force. This is a friendly Anaconda, which is one of the most powerful ships in the game, and it's going to be hunting other ships down. I'm basically going to follow this to the fighting around me, using my boost and things like that to catch up to where I need to go and try to keep up with what they're fighting. All I'm going to be doing is going back over to that vulture we saw earlier. I'll deploy my weapons. I will try to get close to it, and as it's almost dead, I'm going to start scanning it, and I'll shoot at it a little bit just to make sure I get some damage as it dies, because just like that, I should be able to get just a few credits. And you might notice there I only got 67,000 credits. It's because I actually didn't finish the scan on it. So when you're trying to do your combat, scan before shooting, because they won't attack you until you shoot them. You can always scan things. So we're going to put away my hard points. We're going to go over everything. When getting into the system, you don't have to worry about being attacked. Nothing will attack you as long as you don't have cargo. And since you have no cargo coming out here, you're perfectly safe. You're going to try to find the System Defense Force. They'll be green as long as you're fighting pirates and or you're allied with the system. You're trying to find the ones that are basically all shooting at one target that says it's wanted. Upon finding this target, you will fly close to the target using your scanner to then scan the target. Once again, the better scanner has, the more range you can have. I actually have a scanner that's an A rank that will let me scan from very, very far away. This one has to get a little bit closer, but that is okay. So I'm going to scan. Someone's scanning me. That's fine. Once again, I have no cargo, so they don't care what I have. And then I'm going to start shooting at the ship, because the ship is not fighting me. It's fighting those two anacondas there, which means it's in a very bad place. So it's trying to run away, but luckily I'm in an eagle, so I am very fast when it comes to chasing down ships. I kill it, make another 100,000 credits. I'm going to pull away my hard points, and now we're going to talk about the next thing we're going to do. So, I fought everything. Everything's okay. I look at the bottom right of my screen. I am not mass locked or anything. I'm going to press the J key. I'm going to fly out into space. And you may go, well, Happy, you didn't target anything. You're just going to jump out into the middle of nowhere. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to jump out here, flying out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm going to fly for a little bit longer. Once again, I don't want to see all that stuff on my screen, so I'm going to press the U key and make it go away. As I then press the 1 key and pull open my navigation. Oop, I gave myself a little tilt there. Going to navigation. I'm going to find my colony again. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to press the spacebar to target it. I'm going to go up and around, keeping that towards my little reticle on the left here. And I see the planet above me. Ooh, here's another hint. If you press on the middle mouse button, you can look around your cockpit of your ship, and you can see the colonies on the other side of the planet. So I'm actually going to accelerate to the full speed of my eagle and let it keep climbing. Once again, it's just a throttle, so if I just tap the W key, it goes up, and I can leave it there. And I'm going to accelerate till that becomes a nice solid yellow circle like that, and I'm going to slowly pull myself up towards it, using that nice little reticle on the bottom left of my screen to find out where I am going. So I'm going to slide right up towards it. Now that I'm in line and away from the planet, I'm going to now decelerate using the S key, getting to that nice little blue section right in the middle. And you might go, well, Happy, it takes a little bit longer to get there, but that's fine. I am perfectly safe. I have my credits. No one's going to pull me over the system because we saw that Federal Security Force there that will keep me safe. I have no bounties and no cargo. So I am legitimately almost like a ghost, just here to make credits. As I get closer, here are a few things that you can think about when doing this by either yourself or with some friends. With friends, you can all use eagles like we're doing right now, and or bigger ships. The bigger the ship, the easier it is, up until you get 3 large ships. If you have 3 large ships like anacondas, I do recommend going into that hazard zone. You'll do a lot better, you'll make more money, but that is for a later time. This is the beginner's guide. So a few things that you can do is you wait for them to get fought, then we pick on them. Another thing here is trying to figure out where the male slot is. If you look in the left side of my screen right here, it actually tells me where the slot is on the diagram, which is rather helpful. I never really knew that for a while. And as I get close, I'm going to press the 1 key. I'm going to go over to contacts, pressing the E key, go up to the colony, and I'm going to request docking. It will then tell me that I can dock, and I'm going to get closer to the area as I'm flying in, going nice and smooth. I'm going to use this moment to talk to you guys for a second about what is so effective about this, as well as how to turn in your missions. So, as we saw, I took no damage. I'm in a very small ship. There's no real upgrades to the ship at all. There's 0 engineering, which are basically powerful upgrades for the ship. And overall, it was very quick to fly out there and fly back. As you get a hang of this, you'll be able to do it much faster than I do in this video, because I took time to explain everything I was doing, rather than going at full speed. When entering the area, you look for your landing pad, you press L to slow yourself down, and you can press E to slide to your right, and Q to slide to your left. Once again, R is up, F is down, and I usually go nice and slow, right above the area. Slow it down, and start pressing the F key to drop down, and you should get this nice little area. Now, if you bump or anything, that's okay. It's not the biggest deal in the world. You just take it nice and simple. Try to keep your ship lined up, and you slide in, pressing the S key to stop. Once that blue line comes, try to get back to 0, and you can just drop down pressing the F key, and just like that, I'm all set. So I spent 10 credits on fuel, I spent 875 credits on guns, just around 895 credits there. I'm going to press space on Starport Services to open up the selection screen. I'm going to go to the contact page over here. I click contacts. I go to the authority contact or combat bond, doesn't really matter which you're looking for. And I'm going to redeem my vouchers. So I made 1,700,000 credits in killing those 3 ships, taking my time to explain, doing no damage, for a total of 895 credits on top of where I at. I have about 1 billion credits. I have not done this method only. It's just an easy method to make money as a newer player. We're going to be using those system defense ships to protect us and to do the work for us. I hope this guide has been easy and comprehensive to follow. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section below. If you are not a new player and you're a little bit stronger than Elite Dangerous, please put down some other tips that I might have missed. I am once again pretty new to the game and would love to figure out what you guys are thinking as well. I hope everyone has a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Happy out.